Hey guys, how's it going? I'm Drew from Hackster, and I wanted to give you a quick tour through our Slack channel here. So, as you can see, this is our announcements channel here. This should be where you get dropped when you first sign up for Hackster Live. We're working on adding yourself to the Slack channel a little easier, so hopefully we'll get that figured out. Until then, everybody here has the power to invite anybody else. So first things first, if you want to invite the rest of your group, if you click on Hackster Live, just go to Invite People. You'll see right here. Please do type with proper caps and everything, their first name, last name, and email address. That will email them an invite, and then they can sign up themselves. So now that that's out of the way, welcome to Slack and Hackster Live. This here is a getting started primer that I've been updating. This is inside our announcements channel and kind of describes all the different channels and what they're for. So I'll very quickly go through all that. This is more of an introduction to Slack and how we do things. So channels, first of all, you've got all kinds of different channels here. These are all essentially, think of them as chat rooms. You've also got individual chats, so you can PM individual people and vice versa. Kind of how we have this laid out is we've got announcements, and then we've got these different local groups. So you might be in one or more local groups. I'm in Phoenix, for instance. I was originally from Indy, so I'm in that one as well. We've got some private groups for like administrators. This is ambassador channels. So if you're one of our ambassadors, which is our like community leaders, each city or locale might have one or more ambassadors that are in charge of setting up meetups, working with us to get you hardware and compete in competitions and so forth. So that's kind of what ambassadors do. If you'd like to be one, please go to Hackster.io/live, and if you're interested and there's nobody in your city already, then or if you have friends, by all means, we need more ambassadors in more places. So yeah, Hackster.io/live for that. Moving on, we have components. This is a good room to show off like any components that you have. If you got a nice big collection. Recently I went over somebody asked about like what's a good starter platform that's nice and cheap that I can start learning on. So I went over all these different platforms that I'm familiar with based on what radio they use and how much they cost. So these types of things is what you'll find in components. Conference room. So sometimes, well, first let me show you the general chat down here. So this is a general chat. Sometimes people will get to talking about stuff, or me and one or a few other people will get to going back and forth about, oh, what do you think of this? And I think this is kind of better, and so on and so forth. And maybe the whole rest of the crowd isn't really interested in that, what our little subset of people is talking about. So the conference room is there so that you can say, hey, let's take this off to the side and we'll hop in the conference room and talk about it there. So this is for anybody, and this gives me a chance to show another feature here. So you can invite other people to this channel once they're already part of Hackster Live, and you can also change properties of this channel. So see this little gear up here? You can go up here and say additional options, and I'm in the wrong place, I think. Yeah, it's up here, sorry. So you can change the topic by changing this little thing here. There's also another one somewhere. Am I missing it? Channel details. Yeah, I don't know. That should change the topic here. So if we're talking about ducks right now, just type in ducks and there you go. Development, moving on, is for anything and everything development. So whether it's Python or web or Microsoft or whatever, it can go in here and you can talk about coding and get advice as far as code goes. General is anything and everything IoT or Hackster related. So yeah, most of our conversation will probably take place in here. But if anything, again, gets too crazy, or we're gonna have a lot of people in here probably soon. So if it ever gets too nuts, pull it off to the conference room, or you can create actually your own private chats, which I'll show you in a second. Live now is interesting. So you can see in here, I posted Alex. She today had a live broadcast on YouTube, showing off little bits and some things you can do with them. So this is the idea of this is if anybody's in the channel right now hanging out, say you're at your event and it's just starting, we also post it's not working right now, but we post the events in here as they're about to start. So like 15 minutes ahead of time, it'll post in here and say, hey, this event's about to start. So you as an ambassador, if you are one, or even an attendee, could fire up Periscope or YouTube, the live broadcaster, and just let everybody else listen into on whatever you're teaching, or just hang out or whatever. That's kind of what Live Now is for. Moving on, Microsoft, we might consolidate this into development. We're still throwing that around. Off topic, so this is anything that's not IoT related or not Hackster related. So if you're talking about latest video games or something like that, that's a good place to do it. Opportunities. So occasionally Monica will have interesting opportunities that she comes across. So for instance, Particle reached out to her recently and said that they needed a tutorial for the new Electron because they don't have many yet. So she threw it out there, and I picked that one up and said, yeah, I'd like to do that. So sometimes they'll give you either free hardware or maybe $100 or something for writing up a good tutorial for that particular project, or that particular platform. So that's the sort of thing that you might see in here. Maybe it'll be another third-party contest. Maybe we're affiliated with it. Maybe we're not. But that's sort of stuff that you'll see in here. You can post in here too if you like. If you find something cool that you think is a neat opportunity or job, something like that, go ahead. Post meetup. So this is kind of a double meaning a little bit. So this was originally intended for ambassadors, but there's no reason that you can't do it as well if you're not an ambassador. This is a place to put images and whatnot, as you can see from prior meetups. So here's some people on Arduino Day. Here's Mr. Zoran here. Some of his meetup people. Joe Reese. So yeah, this is a good place to put like all of our photos and whatnot. We might get like a Flickr or something at some point in the future, but for right now, this is nice because everybody should have access to it. So we can all just throw it here, and then if Hackster wants to do something cool with it, then yeah, it's all in one place. Resources. So this is used a lot. This started out as, again, an ambassador thing, but now we're opening it up to you guys. This is for anything that you think might be useful. So Dan Nagel here, he's actually a pretty talented developer and made this piece of software called Packet Sender. So he thought that might be useful to us and just threw it in here, which is awesome. Thank you, Dan. So just stuff like that. Any learning materials that you think would be beneficial? Maybe you've got, Monica had a neat PDF, I think, at one point that would go through a whole ton of the common platforms, kind of like I did, but hers was based on what do you need, like how many GPIOs do you need and so forth, and you could kind of click around, I think, and flip pages and find boards that would suit your needs. So that was pretty neat. So just stuff like that, maybe a collection of pinouts for different platforms, that sort of thing would go in resources. You can post files in here. That's another thing to mention, I guess. You can upload any files in here. You can create a post, which is kind of like a blog post. So if you have something really long, that's a good way to do it. A snippet is similar to a post, but it's just raw text. You can't do any formatting. So that's what those are. There's a whole bunch of emojis over here too. You can actually edit messages. So if I wanted to edit my little response here, I can say edit. I can change it, and it shows edited down here. So they can't actually see, they can't go back and see what used to be there, but they do see that it was edited. As an admin, I can get rid of some stuff that's like fluff, so like all these people joined, we don't necessarily need that there. So moving on, Slack help. So I briefly glazed over these regional rooms up here. So as people get signed on and we have new ambassadors and such, you might need a room of your own. So this is a place to come get it. So me and Monica will hang out in here. Sometimes Paul Binary as well. And this is a good place to request and say, hey, I need underscore, maybe you're in Honolulu or whatever, I don't know. So yeah, this would be the place for that. And then we can create a room for you and you guys can hang out. The purpose, I don't know if I went over it already, but the purpose of those rooms is so that after your meetup is over, you guys still have a place to post files and chat and maybe post pictures from your meetup or whatever. It's a place to keep stuff. Now bear in mind, you can post files here, but don't rely on Slack to keep your files, please. It will keep them for quite a while. However, the entire team is limited to 10,000 messages. So it is quite a bit. It takes quite a while to exhaust them, but eventually we will run out. So keep that in mind. Don't post anything in here that you're not willing to lose, please. Or at least keep a backup somewhere. So anyway, that's Slack help. Any other problems you're having, if you need an invite or can't figure out how to invite somebody, yeah, just let us know. And then any of these other ones with a lock, I think I said already, are private rooms that are for admins and such, and then the A and B ones are for ambassadors. I didn't mention that already. The ambassadors are the local leaders of your group, so if you know anybody who would like to be one or would like to start a meetup of their own, let us know. Hackster.io/live. And I think that's mostly it. There's some other little features. So yeah, I think I went over the profile. If I didn't go over this already, if you go into your preferences, you can set up notification settings. So you got like ding, ta-da. Like if you have a few different teams, these are nice because it lets you, when you hear it across the room, differentiate who's IMing you. So that's nice. You can, if you're getting notifications a whole lot and you don't want to, you can set this, so only direct messages and highlight words. And then you can go down here to the bottom and set your highlight words. So if I only want to be, and I think this is only, this might be per room, you can do it per room. But if I only want to be notified when someone says at my name, or maybe I type in like Drew, Animation XP or XP, like all my different nicknames I could put in here, and then it will ping me anytime anyone says that, whether they're actually addressing me or not. So that's kind of nice. I usually leave it on all activity, but that's just because it's me. You also have, hopefully I didn't go over this already, you also have snooze notifications, so you can snooze them for a while, and you can also change your do not disturb schedule. You can change this such that it won't bug you in the middle of the night, which is nice. That is off by default, so if you want to set it, just go to the bell up here. Some other little things, if you really like this channel, you can go up here to the little star. It's hidden, I don't know why, but it's hidden until you go up there. Click that little star, and it'll bump up into your starred sections for things that you use a lot. So that's nice. I don't know if I went over search yet already. Search is really powerful in here. So if I was looking for every instance of SB8266 or whatever, I can search for that, and here's every time it was ever mentioned. More specifically, I can get advanced. So I could say, like, what about just in resources? Of that, tell me anytime that we talked about SB anything. Alright, there it is. So there's Dan talking about it, and there's me talking about it, and both of these show up in resources. When you find what you want, click jump. That'll take you straight to that post, which is awesome. You can add little reactions to posts, so you can say like, "Ooh, that's really cool, thumbs up." So yeah, that's more or less it. I think I went over pinning already, so back on announcements. This kind of goes over a little bit of what I just said. If you click this little button up here, then you can access pinned items, and these should be like the most important things of a particular channel. So kind of keep that in mind. You can also pin stuff yourself if something is really important. You can click this little guy and say pin to announcements. So I'll go ahead and pin that one. Whenever you do that, it pops up a little message down here saying that you just pinned it. So I think that's about it, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up. If you want to DM somebody, this is I mean, the rest of it's pretty obvious. You can just click plus, find who you want to DM, like Monica, click her, and then it'll open up a little chat. Oh, I mentioned making your own private chats. So you can't, we really don't want a bunch of people creating rooms, so come into Slack Help if you want me to create your room. But you can make private messages with more than one person. So if I wanted to talk to Alex and also Monica about something, I can say go. And then this just created a little ad hoc room, kind of like a group text, except way less annoying. And we can talk between the three of us, and we haven't actually created a chat room or anything. So if you need to have like a little side conversation between a few people, that's one way to do it. Another one is just to go into the conference room and invite everybody and drag them all in there. So hopefully that tells you most of what you need to know about Slack. There are some additional options. You can do stuff like add emojis and stuff, but yeah, that's basics. So hope you guys enjoyed. If you have any more questions or any feedback or anything, by all means, hit us up. We're very glad that you're here, and enjoy. See you around. Bye.